morning. Welcome to AVNewsCast.com. Yeah. Morning.
Good morning.
Hey.
I don't have a mic.
Yeah, you do.
I do?
Uh-huh.
I don't have ears. I don't know what's going on. I got one ear.
You have to hear yourself, huh?
Yeah, I need to hear myself.
Okay.
Just to know I'm here. Yeah, I do. Yesterday, the California regulators, California Water Board, State Water Resources Control Board, passed an ordinance approving the $500 per day fine to anybody that uses water in an abundance.
Okay.
Okay? How that's going to be handled, we don't know.
Up here, too?
California. There's a California.
I thought
Okay.
we were West California.
Yeah. West California.
No, not yet. Not yet.
Oh, I mean, that's scary. You know, the other day I came home and the kids were giving the dog water outside in the back, and they forgot to turn the hose off. And it's nothing like when you're driving up your block and you see water streaming down the sides. I always think, oh, who's the poor sap that wasted all that water? And on my way, I see the water, and where is it coming from but my house?
Oh.
$500 a day.
Because he didn't, yeah.
Good
See now.
night.
See now. Frying pan had to come out.
We don't know who's going to. We don't know who's going to oversee it.
Yeah.
Okay. And we
They
don't
say
know-
anybody with that can enforce a law. So, like, code enforcement, parking meter people.
Water board people, go home with a ticket book. If you see anything on your way, just pull it aside.
Oh, but they all have to work under some jurisdictional code, right? Mm-hmm. There has to be a code or a statute for it or something. I don't know how it's going to happen. And I don't know where the money goes.
Oh, yeah.
That's
well,
another
you'll
question.
never know
Yeah.
that.
It's Angie's Fund.
Yeah.
If all the money goes to...
Because it ain't like you're
somewhere in the
buying
state-
water somewhere.
Yeah.
Right.
Or building desalination
Come on
plants.
now. Stop. Where's
But-
the water going? I mean,
But-
money.
Now, let's say, for instance, individual cities, Lancaster, Palmdale, Los Angeles. Let's say individual cities get a portion of that money. Then it would be to their benefit. There's another revenue stream.
To do what with it, though?
I don't know what the...
Revenue, just legalize marijuana.
There you go.
The State Water Resource...
I mean,
It's going to take water to grow all that.
Yeah. Yeah, that's true. But just think of all the kids you can educate if you just legalize marijuana.
Oh, I got a story about that in just a second. But they did announce yesterday that agriculture is the largest user of our water. Makes
That's
sense,
what I've been
right?
saying. That's what I was trying to get across with my taking my cup into the swimming pool.
Yeah.
Out of all the water used in the state, that's the swimming pool. My cup is people, just regular, everyday people. The rest of that water used is farmers and municipalities, industry, all that stuff.
Got it now, because I was
Yeah.
looking like, what is he talking
Yeah, I
about?
didn't
know,
know
I saw
either.
that.
Now I understand what
Yeah.
you're saying.
Yeah.
So they ask us to cut back, but I mean, it's just a little bit. We're just a tiny bit.
Yeah, I get you now.
Right. Okay, so farmers, agriculture uses 75% of all the water. California leads the nation in a dozen crops, including almonds and grapes.
And almonds, man, those are thirsty.
Yeah, they are. What's interesting, though, a new study is that farmers this year will leave 430 acres unplanted in California at a cost of $2.2 billion to the state economy because there's not enough water.
Wow.
Yeah, that is. It is a wow.
They just need to get a big helicopter, go to Alaska, and grab a piece of ice.
There's glaciers there. We got to bring it down by tugboat.
Do whatever. Bring it.
That's good water, too.
It is. I hear anyway.
Like I told you, that ice cube.
You know that blue thing?
That ice cube took 30 minutes to melt.
Right.
It was insane.
Wonder why.
It's because it's so compact.
Right.
It's like concentrated water.
Right.
What do you...
Marijuana. You said marijuana?
I'll tell you at the break. Yeah.
Oh.
Are we going to have a break?
No.
Yesterday, a Superior Court judge shut down the medical marijuana farmers market. in Boyle
Yeah.
Heights.
I
Don't
thought
be
of
a
you.
hater.
Okay?
I thought of you.
Why is he a hater? They had a farmer's market for marijuana.
Yeah, we talked about it.
I don't remember.
Really?
You would think I smoked.
See? You don't
Oh, you know what?
No.
That's why you...
I wonder if that's when Chuck was in.
Yeah, maybe Chuck was there.
No?
Yeah, because I don't remember that.
No, we talked about
Come on, Chuck.
No, we've
Let us know.
Let me
Chuck.
see. Because I'm telling you, I did not know anything about a farmer's market marijuana
Yeah, we
spot.
talked at length about it.
The
You
city...
think I would forget a farmer's market marijuana spot?
That's true. True.
And what you have to
don't
do is
smoke
just
pot.
go to... I know, but it's just amazing.
Which
I
is
would
always
like
at the
to
farmer's
see
market.
It's like an outdoor farmer's market. There were 50 different dispensaries there.
Right, and the French
Okay.
fry booth and the hot dog booth.
Oh, you know they were
And
cleaning
In-N-Out
up.
had a spot.
Yeah, you know that.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Jack in the
Chocolate chip
Box,
cookies.
according to the commercials.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah. Well, the city of LA filed for injunctive relief to shut it down.
Wow.
They said it didn't comply with Proposition D. Okay?
Which says...
Prop D. That's what voters voted on and passed to legalize marijuana. Okay? And it's interesting because the judge said shut it down because he said that even though they were in compliance with Prop D,
I don't like it.
They're not. He said they kind of kinked the law. Okay.
Isn't that what it's all about?
Technically, yeah. Okay. Proposition D. Nowhere in the measure in Prop D does it state that you have to operate a dispensary from a single counter, and you must have a single line.
Right.
Okay. They didn't get that detailed in it. All right? They just talked about having a dispensary and
So then
making
you should
marijuana.
do... Yeah.
Right. Okay. So they opened up this farmer's market.
Right.
Big open air dispensary.
Correct. Okay.
With tons
multiple
of
people.
guards. Yeah.
So the judge basically said that they violated the spirit of the law.
Oh,
That's some
Okay.
bull. Now the law got spirit. That's a shame. It really is. He just didn't like it.
Right.
And I think it's so cool. Let me see.
He just didn't like it, okay? LA City Attorney Mike Fuhr said that Proposition D passed last year was meant for compassionate use of medical marijuana.
So what? These
And
people
that-
are the same thing. They
Right.
could be having a headache, my back hurt. Let me just go to farmer's market.
Because everybody's still arguing
Get some
on,
organic stuff.
as to whether it's even legal, okay?
Oh, get
Even,
over it. Good
even if
Lord.
dispensaries are legal. That's
over
still
it.
an argument.
Oh, not to have the hot chicks selling the marijuana at the dispensaries in the farmer's market.
Was that a laugh?
Yes.
Okay, for all you listening, Angelina's looking at the news story. Did you know it's been a month since Casey Kasem passed away?
Wow.
It's been a month,
Good for him.
and he still isn't buried.
Oh.
Stop.
Oh.
His wife is a mess.
Okay?
Do you understand? His wife is a mess.
No one knows where he's being kept,
Because that's what she likes to do. She's
Right.
a sicko.
but his wife is in charge,
And I'm not ready yet.
and no, he's propped up in a chair.
Oh, looking
the
like
fire
Anna
question. I
Nicole
don't know.
before they put her in.
She's
Ooh,
not
if-
going to say.
If I was the daughter, I would just want to slap the crap out of my stepmother.
His daughter, Carrie, she's very upset, but
Absolutely.
she's not going to press matters in court.
No, because her dad's gone.
Right. She said, you know what? He passed away. His spirit is already in heaven. All right.
Right.
That's just the shell. And I'm
What a
I'm
mess
not gonna.
of a woman. For all she knows, he's already buried.
No, the mother has indicated just 2 days ago that no, she still hasn't buried him. I don't know. She's keeping him.
Waiting for Michael to come back so he can go to the funeral.
Maybe she could freeze him like Walt Disney. You know, there's a
Yeah, Ted Williams.
Yeah.
if you go by Disney Studios and you're on the 134 freeway and you look to the left across from Griffith Park, there's a big hat.
Yeah.
Okay, there's a big hat, and that's Disney animation. Okay, underneath the hat, and that Roy Disney used to have his office in there when I was on the lot. The story is, don't know whether it's true,
Please.
but the story was that deep underground,
Stop.
Walt Disney was frozen in liquid nitrogen. Okay, that's the story, and that's why Roy built his office above it.
So he can get his
Okay.
magic.
Oh, yeah.
It works.
Yeah.
Think about that.
I mean, I'm not. I wouldn't put it past.
It works. So and if you work for Disney and you were in that building, you were like that was cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because you were working like right over Roy Senior. Mm-hmm. That was kind of cool. Riverside County yesterday voted to repeal their sex offender ordinances.
What? What you mean?
Well, counties all over the state, okay, came up with more stringent,
yes,
okay,
and we
policies,
appreciate that.
okay,
yes.
Both cities here, Palmdale and Lancaster, did. Okay, Lancaster went to court to try to enforce theirs.
Yes.
Which I applaud them going to court.
Absolutely.
But they lost.
Because they get to play in the arcades with our kids.
Yeah.
Can't take that away, or go to families with our families.
Yeah.
Right.
Or play in the park.
Skulk around the park. Yeah.
Yeah.
Hang out by
They have the right to
restroom.
stalk your kids, folks.
Well, the state appellate court told Riverside, hey, what you're doing is against the law. You can't do it.
Right.
You have to
can't
abide by
protect your
state law.
kids.
And Riverside, they're very upset
Yeah.
because, hey, this is what we want to do.
Yeah.
This is the way we
And
want to
who
do
in Riverside is going to stand against? Michelle don't even live there.
No.
Doesn't keep
No,
her from
she doesn't.
driving to the
But-
courthouse.
Well, she doesn't live there, so she doesn't have any.
Orange County, had to repeal their laws. As I mentioned, San Diego had to repeal their laws. Irvine had to repeal their laws.
San Diego had to kick out Jessica's law.
What?
Yeah. Yeah, because the judge found it was unconstitutional that they have a right to live where they want to live. So that school being, three-quarters of or third of a mile away from a school, that no longer applies down in San Diego County.
It's a shame.
Right, and this is where...
So it'd be nice just to be able to go to a judge and say, what priority does the kid take in all this? Where does the kid lie?
Well, this is where it's interesting, because the judge doesn't make the law. It's our elected officials and our state legislature that has to make the law.
Okay.
Okay? The judge is just... He's the referee.
He's just enforcing whatever's on the books already.
That's all he's doing.
Okay. But who's taking this to court? What idiot is taking that to court? Why would somebody oppose it and say, I got to take you to court on this?
It's
And if you're felon, can you go to court? Can you...
Of course you can go to court.
Oh, that don't make sense.
Of course you can. Okay?
I have the right to look at any 6-year-old I want.
Yeah, and don't tell me
That's
where I
what
can
you're
do
saying.
it.
They're saying this whole thing started in Riverside
Looking
County.
at me like what?
The whole thing started because the county ordinance came under light because a sex offender, felon, was going to be released into a group home. Okay?
That had kids in it.
No, a group home, meaning other felons, other
Okay.
sex offenders. Okay.
So they can collaborate.
okay.
And
Can you
pass
imagine the
notes.
stink in
Right.
that place?
That's how this whole thing came about, and the home was relatively close to a park. They were able to keep the sex offender, the guy's name was Donald Schmidt, keep him from going to this group home. All right, but then the county ordinance came into light. People started to talk about it. There was a lawsuit filed in Superior
But
Court.
what kind of attorney are you that wants to go to court and represent the opposition of that?
Right now, in Superior Court, the judge originally ruled in favor of Riverside. Okay, perhaps figuring, I'm going to do this, and I don't mind that somebody wants to go appeal it, and I'm probably going to be
Gonna
overturned
lose.
on
Yeah,
appeal.
yeah.
But if that takes 2 years, at least I kept it
Right,
for 2 years.
right.
All right. But they obviously it was overturned in appeal.
But notice how the judge could do that, even though he knows it's wrong.
Even though he knows it's wrong.
And the only reason why I say that is because of that story that we talked about yesterday with the poor woman with the concealed weapon permit. And the
Yeah.
judge is like, I can't do nothing but send you behind the jail. Yes, you can.
You know what? I'm going to do a little research on that story, and then we can talk about that again tomorrow.
I mean, he could have threw out the ticket. The cop could have been so nice to not come to court that day. The cop could have not even given her a ticket. Or not. I mean, there were so many levels of opportunity to go the opposite way on this?
Probably with the officer.
With everybody, come on! I don't know why you think that their hands are.
Once you're arrested,
didn't you just make a point right here? Didn't you just make a point? He'll just go ahead and do this, even though he knows it'll be overturned.
But we're talking about two different things. We're talking about civil court.
No.
Criminal.
We're talking about the power of a judge.
Oh,
am I wrong, Jeff?
Mm-hmm.
No.
Yes.
No, I know. I see judges all the time overturn, things that the people vote in. And it's,
happens all the time.
Hundreds of thousands of people vote what they want.
He just needed to not be an asshole that day.
One judge doesn't like it. And
a judge can't, especially in criminal court.
Stop lying.
Hear me out. Just hear me out.
Okay, go ahead.
Okay? Because they all have checks and balances as well. A judge can't merely dismiss a case with no grounds for dismissal. You can't.
No,
okay?
Maybe you can't do that. Maybe you can't do that, but there's other things he could do. He doesn't have to sentence her 3 years in jail. He could play with stuff.
Okay, we're going to research that. They
play with stuff all the time.
All right.
Probation, physical therapy, community service. Come on.
Okay, we'll research it. And
why would the prosecution have a problem with it? Okay, Judge, that seems fair.
As I said, in the state that she was arrested in,
because we're
the law on the books
Florida? What state was it that she was
I believe New Jersey.
No, I thought she was from New Jersey.
No, she was from Philadelphia.
Okay.
The law on the books there is, if you are arrested and you have a gun and it is loaded and it is in your possession, there's only one sentencing, just one. Mandatory 3 years in prison.
Yeah,
there's nothing lower.
Do some research on that one.
Okay, I'll do some research. We've been talking a lot about Christopher Hubert.
Yes.
The sexual violent predator living up here in the Antelope Valley. Mm-hmm. And he's now living up here, and it's a conditional release. Mm-hmm. Okay? And I mentioned that down the line, he's going to have the ability to petition the court and make it unconditional.
Don't say he's already done that.
Okay, no, he hasn't. Okay, but yesterday in San Diego, okay, a sexual violent predator who molested 2 girls in 1989 served time in prison, and then after he was supposed to be released from prison, was then sent to a mental hospital. Petitioned the court, and the court granted his unconditional release. Okay.
Well, he's got to be able to have the opportunity to stalk some more kids. It's American way.
The judge actually said in open court that this guy is a wonderful success story. Okay?
Why?
Residents say, you know what? Once a child molester, always a child molester.
Yes, I'll go with that.
Okay? Mm-hmm. This doesn't work for us. No. The guy's name is David Chambliss. He's 53 years old.
What makes him a success story in the judge's eye?
Because of the way he's been guiding his life for the past 2.5, 3 years, in a home, okay? In a home, under guard and the whole thing.
Yeah.
Because
how can you be under guard?
He apparently, okay, in court, it says that he is a changed individual.
Mm-hmm. The prosecutor, Jesus.
The deputy DA, Kristen Speiler, told the judge that her office had no evidence to oppose his position. She wished she could have found something.
Yeah, I get that.
But you can't make up anything, okay?
Uh-huh.
She said, based on the criteria, Chambliss no longer meets the criteria under the law of a sexual violent predator. He still has to register as a sex offender. No more GPS.
Oh.
You know, it would be where I would think that somebody has actually made a change in their life is if they go to court and they say, you know what I did was pretty horrible, so I want you to keep it on me forever because I want the people in the community to have a peace of mind.
Yeah.
If you want me to believe that there's a change in your heart, then take responsibility and say, you know what, I don't get a second chance. I ruined 2 kids' lives. You know, I think I'm okay. But for the benefit and the peace of mind of the community, keep my ankle bracelet. You know, do whatever you got to do because, you know, I did a horrible
trust myself.
thing. Yeah.
He pled guilty in 1990 He went to state prison. He was due to be released in 1998. However, they said, hey, we're not going to release this guy right now. We're going to put him in a state mental hospital for more treatment.
Oh.
So he went through the same treatment that Christopher Hubert went through.
Oh, yeah.
Okay?
Yeah.
Then he got a conditional release. And
So is this a
So
foreshadowing?
you're seeing our
of-
future,
Yeah.
basically.
I told you, this is what can happen if our representatives don't enact
yes,
and make laws
yes.
to keep people there.
Yeah.
And then the law needs to be such that it's retroactive to
Yeah.
cover everybody under this thing.
Yeah.
Because the reason that Christopher Hubert is here to begin with is because he skated underneath the law, okay, and kind of was grandfathered in. Because certain laws today were not applicable to him when he was arrested.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, it absolutely needs to be grandfathered. That was a complete oversight.
I have a problem with a judge that looks at a sexual violent predator, okay, a felon, a sex offender, and says, you're a success story.
Yeah.
Well, it's all based on what he sees in his court. It all goes back to the fact that people need to be filtered out because you get desensitized.
Mm-hmm.
He's probably seeing 10 times worse of that. So in comparison of what he sees on the regular, you're good, dude.
Yeah,
Well, just
but
two
you have,
little girls? Shoot.
yeah, but you have two girls that
Done
clearly,
for life.
yeah, have issues,
Yeah.
and he just forgets about it, and just goes about his life. Yeah, that's no good. Yesterday, the NBA, the Board of Governors, and Commissioner Silver said that he's kind of maybe doubting that when the NBA season starts again, that Donald Sterling will not still be the owner.
Uh-oh.
He thinks he still may be. And this is a problem.
Well, the players said they won't play for him.
That's right.
So it is going to be a problem.
And I would imagine that if this team tanks, if they don't play, Steve Ballmer is going to say, this is not worth
Yeah.
this is not worth $2 billion
No.
anymore. Now
So
it's
he's
an upstart.
Yeah, now he's going to mess with his money.
Now, yeah, and then when it gets so screwed up, and then he says, okay, look, I'll come in, I'll save the day. Here is $1.2 billion, but I'm moving the team to Washington.
Absolutely.
Because nobody else wants this team.
Right.
Because it's ruined.
Yeah, those players, the best thing they can do for their career right now is to get ghost. That means leave.
What's that term again? No,
Get ghost.
Get ghost.
Yes. It's old.
That means
English
leave?
term. Yeah.
Okay. I'll use that.
Please do.
I'll use that. It was interesting. Yesterday, NBA Commissioner Silver also said that, he spoke with Donald Sterling's wife, Shelley, okay? And that they did. One reporter asked him a question, hey, I heard that Shelley spoke to you, and you agreed to remove the lifetime ban from Donald Sterling.
Ugh.
And he said yesterday, we did have that conversation.
But he only gets nosebleeds?
No,
Tickets?
we had a lot of conversations, and she said, would I do that to make Donald maybe sell the team quicker? Donald Sterling is holding on.
Yeah.
Because he wants to show that he is a winner. Okay?
Yeah, absolutely.
And he will take all of his money
And let it tank. He
and
knows he
do
only
whatever-
got a good 5-10 years tops left anyway. So do you really need $1 billion?
Right. He
How
doesn't
many
need that
kids
much.
does he have?
I don't know. I thought. Well, didn't he lose a son?
Wow, really?
I better not even talk on that one.
Wow.
I want to say he did
Drugs?
in Malibu. I thought
Oh,
a couple years
wow.
ago.
So that's what's wrong with him then.
I don't know.
He's lost it.
I don't know.
Pain.
Maybe, and I could be. I don't know. Speaking out of turn. I don't. I want to say he did.
I got it.
Okay.
it. Well, the only reason why I asked if he has any kids is because does he need to give that money down the line?
He's got more than enough money.
Well, I was just trying to allude to that.
He's got, and who knows? Even if he's leaving, well, we know he's got one child. at least, okay, who was young, because this is, remember, the child was supposed to be studying, and they were
the Hebrew school. Yeah.
And he wasn't studying.
Oh, that's right.
And he took him upstairs and beat his butt.
And his hide.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, and the agent and the player said, this is out of control. I'll sign the contract right now if you stop hitting your son.
Yeah.
Okay?
Sick sucker.
Yeah.
Why didn't he just call Child Protective Services?
Who knows? I don't know. I couldn't tell you that. Funny story coming out of Massachusetts yesterday. A guy broke into a house. The house is owned by Ted Kennedy Jr.
Ooh.
All right? Ted Kennedy Jr. wasn't there. He was in Connecticut, okay? But this is their house in Cape Cod. And Ted Kennedy Jr.'s son lives there, okay? With, I don't know who else. He's a teenage son, okay? But he lives at the compound.
Party house.
A guy broke into the house. Ted Kennedy Jr. happened to call the house to talk to his son. And the burglar answered the phone.
Oh, stop.
No.
Okay?
You're interrupting. What can I do for you?
Yeah, he was in the kitchen.
Stop that, because I'm having a hard time finding everything.
He was in the kitchen making something to eat.
Oh, he's alone.
He said, what are you doing there? He said, I'm looking for Katy Perry.
Oh, yeah, he's alone.
I heard Katy Perry was going to be here.
Yeah. Well, she's on her way. Hold on a minute. Just don't go nowhere.
So he called the police. Police, of course.
She's at the door.
Called the police. Police rush over there.
Yeah.
He had been in the house for 3 hours.
Wow.
Okay. I don't know whether Ted Kennedy's Jr.'s son was in the house at the same time.
Yeah, because
haven't
those
said.
houses tend to be 20,000 feet.
But this guy had helped himself to food. He was making sandwiches.
Nice.
Broke into the house.
Yeah, he's alone.
Yeah.
You don't want to meet Katie on an empty stomach.
No.
You want to have energy.
And you got to answer the phone because she's not here yet.
Yeah.
Somebody might be.
She might be at the
speaking to a
gate.
delay.
Yeah.
You're a burglar. The phone rings, and you say, hello?
Hello? You're interrupting.
How can I help you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh. You.
Katy Perry's house.
Right.
Right?
Alone. That's a good one, though.
Yeah, it is a good one.
That's what you want. We want the burglars to answer the phone when we call. That way there won't be any guessing games.
Now you gotta get that guy from Palmdale to give him some pointers. He's no joke.
No, he's 23, 25 seconds, right? And this guy 3 hours late. He probably took a shower.
The Abadak burglar?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, in and out, 23 seconds. When is it going to be a time when people get elected to office and it's just about their ability and not about anything else?
I don't know.
Okay.
Let's see. We've been talking about this since I started the show.
Yesterday, it's a very big deal. The city of Long Beach, the very first Latino, openly gay mayor took office. Now, why do we need to know? First,
about his sexual preference?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know why. Because they're trying to shove.
No, stop. Okay. Force feed.
Yeah, they're trying to force feed us acceptance on it.
You know, yesterday, Mayor Eric Garcetti named a new fire chief. Okay.
Is he gay?
No. Okay. He's not gay. No, he's Latino.
It's like
First
it's
one
like
in
gay
history.
people are now the new tokens.
When is it? You know, soon it's going to be City of LA just hired a new mayor with 4 toes. That's a big deal.
But you get brownie points when you hire what society deems
look how
as
culturally
the
sensitive we are.
Yeah. Look, we got a gay. Come on, come to the town. He's Spanish and gay.
You know, what's cool about the story and this mayor and his name is Robert Garcia. The cool part about the story is he's the youngest mayor in history. Okay, to me that would have been the lead. Okay,
Yeah, I know.
the youngest mayor in history. He's been sitting on the city council. I think that's great. He was originally born in Peru, immigrated to the United States when he was 5. The first person in his family to go to college. That's all great stuff.
Yeah.
Okay. He was a professor at Cal State Long Beach.
Okay.
Teaching communications. That's all.
How does that qualify you as mayor, though? You can talk well?
He's been serving on the city council since 2009, which he was elected to.
So he knows a little bit about how the city runs.
He's been involved in city government now 5 years. Okay? He knows how it runs. He's not just a guy in a district that goes, hey, I got nothing to do today.
Right.
Okay, and Jerry Springer's not on at noon anymore, so I'm going to run for office.
Yeah.
I just see.
I have no clue.
I just see loads of piñatas full of glitter. There's the combination.
I'm letting that one go. But why isn't it all of that I just said? That's all great stuff.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Why does it have to be
because
that he's
we are hand fed by it's the media. Unfortunately, it really is. It's the media that feeds us, and we eat it and spit it back out.
No, it's like it almost has a connotation that we were substandard, but really we're not now. Look, we've accomplished this.
Yeah.
Okay? Whether you're gay or straight, everyone's the same.
No one's asking what his sexual preference is. It's the guy who wrote the article that felt that it was relevant.
Mm-hmm.
And so what I'm saying is that we're being fed, and, we should really take a look at that ourselves as being someone, as an entity that's the most popular in the Antelope Valley, as to what we're always talking about. How much positive are we spitting out?
And keep talking to that. I'm trying to follow your train of thought.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I'm just saying the media is, nobody's looking for news. They're turning on whatever channel, they're reading whatever articles to try to gain a perspective of what's going on in the world. And if we're constantly just spitting out the negatives, constantly spitting out things like this to make people think that that's important, then what are they going to do? They're going to think that it's important.
Okay, I get that.
With me? Oh, okay.
Yeah, no, I'm with you. Okay?
Yeah. Because who gives a crap if he's gay?
Right, exactly.
It just gives me a thought that I don't even want to have.
Yeah, to me, the fact that he immigrated here when he was 5, okay, became an American citizen.
I think it's just great that he was on the council for 5 years.
Yeah, the youngest to get on the city council.
Yeah.
All of that is great stuff. Mm-hmm. That whether he's gay or not.
His house probably is immaculate.
You're funny. You're funny.
He probably got some nice stuff. Just saying. He probably dressed real well.
Manscape.
Moving on.
Let's keep it real.
The 2016 Republican National Convention
Lord.
will now be held in Cleveland.
Oh.
Mm. Cleveland won over every other city in America.
Ugh.
Okay.
Well, they want it. They want it over there.
They actually were leaning toward Dallas because Dallas has more money. Dallas had already committed more dollars.
Who has the most electoral votes?
Well, Dallas is going to have more than Ohio.
Yeah.
No. What's the Is it Ohio?
Yeah.
Cleveland.
Is that the one that's always the I can't think of it. I'll come back to it. The one state that if you don't win,
they've gone back and forth.
Oh, okay.
Okay, they've gone back and forth. Dallas wanted to have this, but committee members for the Republican National Convention wanted to have this sometime between June 28th and July 18th, 2016. Mm-hmm. Dallas said, "We got a lot going on here. Okay, let's make it a little bit later." Mm-hmm. Let's make it a little bit later. Mm-hmm. And they said, no, that's when we want to do it. So Dallas said, okay, well, we're not going to do this.
Yeah. They've got obligations.
Right. For an opportunity to host the Republican National Convention. That's a big deal. Mm-hmm. Okay? It's a very big deal.
Okay.
All right? Mm-hmm. And it's going to Cleveland, Ohio.
Eesh.
Okay.
At least it's going to be in June and July. So it's not snow all over the place.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah, because those real pubs can't be.
And then airplanes can't land.
Yeah.
And they can't get in. But you're talking about big, big dollars. Mm-hmm. Cleveland has committed to about $60 million in fundraising efforts if they host it there. That's huge, huge dollars.
It is. It's amazing how people can come up with this, with these numbers, with these extraordinary donations, these abilities to be able to get all this money for things that really don't mean anything.
Right.
Look at Governor Jerry Brown. He's got over $20 million in the bank. Okay, who's running for governor. That everybody contributed to.
Yeah.
$20 million. Okay.
What's wrong with us?
How much? What was her name from eBay that
That woman,
that ran against him?
the blonde chick.
Meg Whitman.
Yes.
Oof.
She had spent $20 million.
That's nothing.
Okay,
Uh-huh.
to try to win.
Yeah.
Huge
Yeah,
dollars.
and it's like, don't you realize where that money could really go?
So, Cleveland donates
Moving on.
$60 million.
Yeah.
Okay, to have the convention held there, and in return, they will get about $214 million in direct economic impact to the city from
That's
hosting
pretty
it there.
good.
Yeah.
That's a good trade-off, right? Why don't they host it someplace like L.A.?
Because nobody wants that here.
Yeah, because we go a little bit blue.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that
Okay.
mess. Get out of here.
Yeah, a little bit.
Get out of here.
Yesterday, the defense in the Richard Alicon trial
No.
rested its case. It's now headed toward the jury. Richard Alicon was a city council member, then became an assembly member, then went to the Senate, then decided the benefits weren't so good. So I'm going to go back to the LA City Council
Oh, okay.
because they got better benefits.
Okay.
Okay? Went to the LA City Council, claimed that he lived in a home in Panorama City in the 7th Council District during 2006 through 2009 so that he could represent that district. He got elected, but he never lived in the home. He had another home. Okay? Well, what happened to Senator Wright getting convicted on 7 counts? Richard Alicon is facing 20 counts.
For that?
Okay? And his wife
Where do we get
is
the
facing
extra
half a
counts
dozen.
from? And why does the wife get in trouble? She didn't run.
She
lie
gave-
about it?
She gave
cares?
false testimony. And
Oh, okay.
this is an interesting thing because he could face 5 years in prison.
Nice.
She could face 4.
But
Oh.
the judge will work that out.
Okay?
No jail time.
He probably knows all the judges. Anyway,
Yeah.
but it's interesting because his defense is that, look, we bought that house. We lived in it for a day to whatever. We decided to
we went to the
remodel
thrift
it.
store. We got some.
We decided to remodel
outlets
the
to put in
house.
the closet. We
So while remodeling was going on, that
Yes.
took years and years and years,
It's still going, in fact.
we moved to another home, okay, in Sun Valley.
Well, because we can't really live in Panorama City. Have you seen it?
Yeah. Been to the Kaiser down there.
There's got to be some nice areas around
I
there.
mean, there might be a block or two. But you're not, with this resume, you're not living in Panorama
Now, it's interesting because they called a witness yesterday, just before they presented their closing argument. They called a witness yesterday who said, well, wait a minute, I had to go to that house in Panorama City one day and pick Richard up in the morning because we had a meeting. And I went to pick him up, and I pulled out in front, and he came out.
Did he have his robe on?
He came out. No, he came out and got in the car. But his wife and kids waved. They can't wave. She was in a robe, and the kids were in their PJs.
We got to make a
Nicely
show.
staged.
We got to make a show. Yep.
Yeah. That
Come on, you gotta get
prosecution
up at
is
6.
saying,
We gotta get to that Panorama spot.
yeah. Okay.
Lock the doors.
They called contractors, okay, who said that, yes, I reglazed or refinished a bathroom.
That was done in a weekend.
No. It took a
your
long time.
Take your time.
It took a very long time. There was nothing in the home, no furniture whatsoever. So they're
kind of
saying,
a food
how
town.
could he? Well, we had furniture, but then we moved it out because we were going to remodel and go live in this other house.
But you're talking 5 years. That's a long remodeling job.
The contractor said that one contractor said he never met Richard Alicon at that house. but that he, at one time, he needed to get paid, and he called the phone number that he was given, and somebody met him at the house within 10 minutes and paid him.
Well, did the contractor say that they're still working on the house?
Well, the house basically has been done for a long time.
Oh, and the
Okay.
contractor said so?
Yeah.
So why is it hard for you can't find a U-Haul?
Some people, it takes a while. Now, Richard Alicon went and changed the address on his driver's license
To Panorama City.
to Panorama City.
Of course.
Okay? Mm-hmm. He did.
People do it all the time. You just probably don't know.
Also, to prove that they were working on the house, he and his wife both opened accounts and got credit cards at Home Depot to make it look even better. And I
She's
can't.
like, Home Depot? What do I get from... Well, do they do nails?
No,
I'm just being
for
facetious.
paint and stuff.
Yeah, no, I know.
Okay. Trial's been going on for
He
a
doesn't
month.
get me. I don't know.
What do you mean?
Well, he's guilty. Done. He's guilty. He tried to get over, and it didn't work. You're not going to jail, dude, so just relax.
He's been prosecuted before. This is not his first time in court.
And he's won. He consistently wins.
Well, he's kept himself out of jail.
And he'll continue to do so.
This will be interesting, but that's the way he looks. He's got a smile in court. He thinks he's got this one beat.
Because he's like, come on. Are we really going to do this? Do I look like a criminal? Would you ever pull me over? Yeah. Yeah, he knows. He's got this.
Okay, so I mentioned that yesterday Eric Garcetti named a new fire chief.
Yeah.
Okay.
And is he gay now?
No, he's not.
Okay.
He's Latino as well. First time that a
But
Latino...
why is that important to mention?
You know, that's what I'm saying, okay? Now,
But you just
the
mentioned it.
Because
mentioned it to mention.
because when Mayor Garcetti introduced him, okay?
He didn't say Latino so and so.
Of course, the first
That's so
Latino...
nasty. That's so nasty.
Okay.
And it's almost like, it's almost like Suzette Martinez being a Republican. It's like, don't you know that you're going to be the mark?
She is a Republican.
I know. Don't you know that you're the token? And they're going to say, she's Mexican too?
No,
Let's put her in charge of Mexican stuff and keep propping her up. And when we need to pull out a Mexican, we have one.
No. The neat thing about Suzette is that she was a woman, and she was running against guys. Okay, it has.
So the
nothing,
neat thing about it was that she was Mexican, and hopefully we can get the Mexican votes.
Well, one would think that. Okay,
That's what they thought.
One would think. Well, one would think that
I just
she would
liked what
take
she had to say.
the female vote.
I did too. I liked what she had to say too. I thought she was really, really. I like her.
She had a lot of
She's
passion.
just on the wrong side.
She had okay. I disagree with you there.
Yeah.
but she had a
Clearly
lot
she
of
is.
passion. Okay,
Yeah,
she
she was one of the most believable.
She was running a campaign that was underfunded.
Yeah.
Okay, which is tough. Okay,
And it's so funny because you can talk to these people and you know on one side of the coin that they're underfunded. But when they get in front of that mic, man, you would think they got $100 million and 450,000 people on the streets knocking on doors. Like, you would never get the impression that they got about $57 and 2 billboards. It's just amazing.
but the interesting
But
thing
I'm
is,
still saying that, and it happens to everybody in all parties. I'm not saying that it's only Republicans, but I'm just saying the Republicans have been going through such a beating with trying to find an identity. Lord knows they have. That, having a Mexican or a black person be a Republican and have a brain, that's a great thing because we can use you later. And you're a woman?
okay. I get what you're saying. Okay?
Yeah. And is it not viable?
It is.
Thank you.
It is to an extent. I would have thought that. Well, let me ask you a question. If Hillary Clinton announces that she is running for president for nomination for 2016, do you think that she will instantly carry a huge female vote?
Yes, and it's horrible.
Okay, so wouldn't you have thought, okay, Suzette being the only woman in the field would have carried a lot of female votes.
If she was the only... See, that's why you shouldn't put all... You know, like, in my opinion, you should put in your best Republican, your best Democrat. Because then you can pull the votes the way you need to pull the votes. But when you're putting more than one Republican in there, you know, so what? She's a woman. If everybody likes somebody else, they're going to go with whoever they like. It muddies the pool when you put a lot of people in there, in my opinion.
Mm-hmm. A lot of people complained about that.
Yeah.
I would talk to people on the street, and
it doesn't even make any sense.
They thought it was really going to split the party.
There's no solidarity in the party if everybody's running. Like, how come you can't have a meeting and say, who wants to run? 6 people raise their hands, and then everybody else gets to vote on who should run. And then you take that. I mean, I don't understand why that can't happen. That's what, if you really want your party to win, I think that's the best bet.
And I understand what you're saying.
Mm-hmm.
And I get that. Mm. And I was even a little bit miffed that there were so many people running. Mm-hmm. Okay? Only because it didn't make sense. Because you would think, you know, the Republican caucus of the Antelope Valley would say, okay, this is our person, all right? And
let's get behind them and throw some money and make sure. Yeah.
And so...
They didn't do that.
No, but the Antelope Valley spoke, and they said, okay, all the Republicans said, it's Tom Lackey.
Right.
Okay? Hands down. But again... Right. You would have thought that Suzette would have taken a lot of the female vote. And that didn't happen.
No.
Not at all. But she did get, what did she get, 3,000 votes?
Yeah. Yeah, she was right next to J.D.
No, I understand that. Okay.
Yeah.
So I'm just saying that there are a few thousand people in the Antelope Valley that thought she was the best choice.
Yeah,
okay?
Yeah.
You know, there were. So I mentioned yesterday that Eric Garcetti named a new fire chief. He's been the assistant fire chief. He's been with the L.A. Fire Department for 31 years. They had an exhaustive search all across America to find somebody. And they decided to promote from within. Okay? Because they felt that this is going to be the best. Now, this is the same... And the guy's name is Ralph Terrazas. Okay? Now, when he was introduced, Mayor Garcetti pronounced his name as Ralph Terrazas. Okay? Okay? Then as it all went by, toward the end, it was no longer Terrazas. It was Terrazas. Okay?
Because he needs to understand.
It takes too much.
You're going to let go of that extra R.
Yeah.
Because now you win.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now,
and did people pick up on it?
Yeah.
That's how funny.
Yeah, they definitely did.
Yeah, they put together a sound cut of all the different mentions
hysterical.
of his name throughout the speech, and it got more Americanized as it went.
Yes, you know what? Yesterday, what were some of the stories that we covered yesterday? Because we covered one yesterday. I'm telling you, a lot of people are listening to our show. And I'm trying to remember the story that we covered, but we covered it. It was about the middle of our show. And then I left the studio and got in the car, and I'm on my way back to the office. And I put on KFI. And they go, and after the 9 o'clock break, we're now going to cover our story.
Yep.
Okay?
Well,
they do that all the time.
That's a routine.
Okay? Yeah. They do that all the time. But this guy, Ralph Terrazas, he's been with the fire department for 31 years. All right? So that's good because he knows what's going on. But maybe not so good because this is the same fire department that hasn't been hiring women, has had a real problem hiring people.
Nepotism.
Falsified their response times.
Nepotism?
Yeah, oh yeah.
Huge nepotism. Falsified
you can't say New York
times.
Doesn't do that. That's
New York is built on it.
That's
the
one of the
police and the fire department. They built on it. The only thing that even the playing fields was 9/11.
Oh.
And literally, you can turn on a radio station in back east now, and there's advertising for fire department. You never hear an advertising to hire firefighters.
The city of LA needs more firefighters. So does the county, but the city needs more firefighters.
But they don't have the money for it.
They do have the money. And that's been part of the argument, is let's hire more. Instead of hiring more, they're just letting the ones that they have work much, much overtime. Okay?
And they're not going to complain.
No, they're not going to complain.
Yeah.
At all. Okay? One big argument that's going on right now is because they had falsified and misreported response times. Okay? And because they couldn't get ambulances to the right place and the problems that they had, Mayor Garcetti has an idea. And his idea is, I want to take the 911 dispatch center from the fire department, and I want to move that over to the 911 dispatch center for the LAPD.
Because they know how to tell people how to get somewhere?
So we'll have one place. Well, the LAPD didn't falsify any records when it came to that.
Okay.
Okay? Mm-hmm. But the fire department's not too happy about that. They don't want to do that. So they're pushing against that. But we'll have to wait and see what the new fire chief...
But yet, this fire chief had this history and ended up with the job.
That's kind of my point, okay? Mm-hmm. This is kind of my point, okay? For instance, we've got an election coming up in November, all right? Mm-hmm. And people can elect a new sheriff. Now, and there's 2 candidates on the ballot.
Yes.
Do you want to take the candidate that's currently the chief of police in Long Beach, okay, that's coming, that knows how to run a department, coming from the outside in, that wasn't involved in any stuff?
Any other mess,
Or do you want to vote for the number 2 guy who was involved in the sheriff's department?
That's amazing.
Through all the craziness and corruption and everything else.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Okay.
Well, I think that you absolutely have to make sure that he didn't have any dirt that he's running from. The guy that's coming from Long Beach, you got to make sure that there's no dirt. I mean, but it's a lost cause right now because we're stuck in between a rock and a hard place.
He's been heavily vetted. Okay.
So was Sarah Palin.
That was they did a bad job, and you know that. They only had 6 days. Okay?
I'm just saying. But yet she was heavily vetted. If you ask them at the time.
When I think I was with Jeff.
Yes.
Okay? Yep. I think I was with Jeff when it was announced that she was going to be vice president.
That's one of the things that you remember where you were.
Mm-hmm. I do.
Yeah, I remember where I was. I was in Vegas, and I was watching it on the news. Me and my mother were in a timeshare. And I was like, can you believe this? Did you not call it, Sheila?
I remember Jeff and I both looked at each other and said, she's hot. This is going to be great. I swear. I'm not kidding.
I'd rather look at that than Hillary.
Well, she'll just put her pants on.
Oh, please.
Yeah. Okay, so Sarah was a bit of an embarrassment. Okay.
All I'm saying is, you know, when people say they were heavily vetted, it doesn't necessarily mean that someone did a very thorough job. Doesn't necessarily mean that. But we're stuck now. I hope that he doesn't have any skeletons in the closet coming from Long Beach.
Okay, well, I believe that we're in good shape. I think we're in good shape.
Well, you see sunshine roses all the time.
I would have liked to have seen James Hillmold make it through the primary.
Yeah.
I really would have. And it's a real drag that, you've got the primary and then the primary's over and the new sheriff demotes him. Okay? Because he's a young guy, he's risen through the ranks too fast. Okay?
You're smelling yourself.
Got too many promotions. So he had to knock him down. Okay? And you had to believe that, there's got to be a little bit of retribution.
Absolutely.
That's a tough deal, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
That's a tough deal.
Listen, I just wanted to tell you guys, and I really thought that we were going to talk about it, but I don't think that you saw the story, and so forgive me because I'm not going to have all the specifics. I believe the state was New Mexico, and they're gearing up for the election, and a Republican that's on the ballot goes to a center where they believe that some of the kids that have come over the border are going to be housed, right? So the Republicans, the sheriff is there, there's tons of people in the community, and they're going at it. And, of course, the Republican is against it and doesn't want the kids to be housed there. And he's doing a little press conference thing, and someone whispers in his ear, and he says, "That's all I have to say. I have to leave now." And 2 minutes later, he starts tweeting, "You should see the sad faces on the bus that has all these kids coming from, wherever over the border. They look sad. They look like they want to go home." He just puts his foot deep in it. It was a bus of YMCA kids. No! And the media has pictures of the kids on the bus with their phones taking pictures. Smiled up.
I love it.
Yeah.
Dummy. Diane Sawyer, just the other night on World News Tonight, is talking about a story, and she's talking about the fighting between Israel and Gaza, and the fighting going on the Gaza Strip. And they show a picture, and she's like saying, "Look at these poor Israeli kids," okay? Oh. And that's what she's talking about. They weren't Israeli kids. Yeah. It's on the other side of the wall.
Why couldn't it...
Okay.
Is it horrible if we say, "Look at the poor Palestinian kids"?
No.
Yeah. She should have just said, "Look at the poor kids."
Yeah.
Yeah.
And she actually, the next night, had to go back and make a public apology. Whoops. And you could
hear... Because they were in the back saying, "What?"
You could hear the kids talking, okay? And you knew that the kids were not Israeli, okay? Well, and she just got the whole story wrong.
Yeah. She don't know.
She had to apologize.
Yeah.
That's funny about that bus in New Mexico. YMCA kids.
On the field trip. Taking pictures, smiling like, "Wow, look what's going on." And this guy.
That's funny stuff. Today at 11:30, there is a luncheon being held. The Palmdale Chamber of Commerce hosts the luncheon. It's at the Cascades at the Rancho Vista Golf Course. Today's speaker will be our very own mayor, Jim Ledford, who is going to give the State of the City address and talk about things going on in the city. So, if you want to know what's going on in the city,
be there, be smart.
You want to know about crime and economics and new businesses and everything else and what's going on in the city, that's where you want to go. I can already tell you, if you don't have a seat, it's probably already way sold out.
Yeah.
Okay?
Can I also just mention one other thing? New York, just for our Antelope Valley people, you can open your business in New York and have 0 taxes for 10 years. That's how they're bringing business to New York.
Really?
0 taxes. No property, no income, no state.
Really? Just federal income tax?
You know what?
That's the IRS. They always get their money.
I think so.
Okay.
But nothing else. No sales.
There's no loophole?
Really? 10 years.
Yeah. Well, we can't do that.
That's
because our business model in this state is all built around the revenue that the state gets from all of us. And we can't start getting rid of any of that.
Well, I mean, you can for 5 years to get some in. I mean, in 5 years, you'll be able to get that revenue. But you need to get them in, because right now you're losing them.
And who wants to go? New York's cold. And who wants to go to New York?
Yeah. Well, that's my home. Stop it.
Yeah. Do you like the snow and the cold weather?
No.
No. Who wants to go do that?
10 years.
Oh, so what? I would still rather pay my taxes and live in Southern California. I would. I don't want to go there at all.
New York is great.
Okay. Well, we're done with the show for today. All right. Thanks for making us the #1 news talk radio program in the Antelope Valley. We'll be back tomorrow. Have a great day.